Call of Duty M Season 7 Radioactive Agent. If they bite a spider, it will become Spider-Man. Get it? Because they are radioactive men? No, wait, they are radioactive agent, so the spider will also become an agent. Black Widow then. As always, there's a bunch of theme-based content. I will start with the game mode called Attack of the Undead, and as the name suggests, it involves zombies, and the idea is probably originated from the popular movie theories. Man, radioactive stuff happens equals undead. The maximum number of players in this game mode is 10. You get to select loadout in the beginning where grenades and perks are preset, and for the operator skill you get to select between shield and sentry gun. Go for sentry gun, shields are just not worth it. Right after that, there's a 10-second undead countdown. When it ends, one of the 10 player randomly becomes the first undead. Pro tip, check the minimap when it's happening. Whichever arrow disappears, that's where the first undead is. Sometimes it can be the player next to you, so watch out for that. They still have their gun for a few seconds. And also, if all arrows disappear, that means you are the undead. The preset perks are not activated by default. You have to get 6 kills to activate them all. After the 10-second countdown, no matter how you die, whether from an undead or by your own trip mine, you still join the other side. Each time a survivor dies, few seconds are added to the match timer, starting from 30 for the first one, then 40, 50, 60, and on and on. If you are the last survivor, your health point gets doubled and the option to use death machine with magazine of 200 ammos. Stay alive till the timer runs out, take the W, and 9 other takes the L. Playing as the undead is just the opposite. You have to kill every single survivor till they all become zombies before the timer runs out. You only have melee weapon as primary, tomahawk as throwable, and activating your skill hides your footstep. You become faster to rush in quick, knife some survivors, or swing a bat. If you are the very first randomly chosen undead, you take your first kill with a gun and then switch to a knife. It might be a glitch, but also maybe not because it happens every time. Another reason I think it's not a glitch because you face 9 players with guns in the beginning alone, so they might have done it to make it easier. Last thing as an undead you get is red flare, which resets your spawn point. You can use it strategically if the last guy is camping or something. You can drop it near him, go take a shot, and if you die, you can repeat the process until you do. Oh my god, I just needed one more hit. Somebody tomahawk this camper. Yes, thank you. Someone on Reddit found this glitch with the red flare where you can explore unplayable areas in Summit. You know, walk around those mountains and drop down this invisible fake floor, and that's it. There's not much you can do. And now the very last thing about the gameplay. If you drop a nuke, it's an instant win. What? I actually got a nuke. No, I'm out of ammo. I will run with this stun.
Oh my god!
That actually worked. He's still dead. Yes! What's that? The Sun Too Bright? Oh, too bad. That's what you get for joining the zombies and not Machine Gang. Good job betraying the humanity though. How ironic. I'm talking in my man versus machine lore, but I was the only human out of the 10 players there. So far, it's the only game mode in Call of Duty Mobile where dropping a nuke ends the match. But as far as I know, all the previous version in PC and console, it's the case in every single game mode, which is more realistic. But here, even if you drop a nuke in other game modes, you still have to win from objective. Like, bruh. There should be nothing but a crater left after a nuke. If you think this Attack of the Undead game mode is a lot similar to Infection game mode from PUBG M, then yes, it is. It's almost the same thing but renamed with additional Call of Duty features, and it's not the first time. Features from both games keeps getting tossed back and forth. Tencent probably has some mediation in this because they're somewhat involved with both the games. There's an upcoming game mode in PUBG called Gun Game. Guess where that came from? This time they didn't even rename it. It's just the same thing but with bland PUBG vibes. It's funny because both games are supposed to be rivals to be the most popular game in mobile platform. Anyway, next up is Gulag, coming straight from Call of Duty Warzone, where it's like a segment, you can say. It's a battle royale type game, and whoever gets eliminated is dragged to the Gulag, where 2 players among them at random will fight a 1v1 duel at a time. Whoever wins gets to return to the battle, and while you're waiting for your turn, you can punch other players for fun or throw rocks at whoever is playing the duel at the moment.
He's looking at me!
But here in Call of Duty Mobile, it's not part of the Battle Royale, but it's a map for 1v1 and 2v2 game mode. It's not exactly as it is in Warzone. There are 3 open, clear line of sight between both sides. Since there is no wall-covered thing in the center like in the Warzone, you're completely exposed when it comes to capturing the overtime objective. The iron bars are no longer broken, and there are basins instead of lockers where you can camp. Like, why would you do that? But overall, it perfectly fits for the purpose it's added to the game, which is 1v1 and 2v2 combat. I'm not really a fan of those because I don't really see a point in playing those, except that you can bully randoms with rocket launcher. So what are you gonna select, huh? Rocket launcher. I really hurt his pride. Or your noob sister, as for that matter. Shit, probably doesn't even know about concussion grenade. Another map, Tunisia, inspired by Tunisia. I think this is the first urban area based map in this game, so it really stands out. I have never seen so many buildings in one place like this in any other Call of Duty map, and in well condition, I might add. Also, when I say Call of Duty, I only mean Call of Duty Mobile. I never had a good PC or console, so my Call of Duty experience starts and ends with Call of Duty Mobile. The only reason I knew about Gulag in Warzone, it's because I watched Shroud. So as I said, the visuals of this map is really outstanding. Even from a VTOL, it doesn't break the illusion of playing in a big city. Compared to some other maps like Crossfire, the top view from a VTOL is really an eyesore. Like, it looks like a big square map floating in nothingness. So you can tell they really put a lot of effort on this map, even designing the areas you can't explore. So based on looks, this will be my favorite map so far. Talking about the whole playable area, it's a 3-lane design. There are a bunch of alleyways and shortcuts connecting all the open areas, both the spawn points left, right and the center. Both squares on east and west will potentially trigger a lot of crossfire situation, especially in S&D, because that's where the target A and B will be. The center area is where you will be fighting for the center beacon or flag, whichever is the right one. And since there are so many ways routing to the same place, the sooner you get used to this map, the better will be your decision making and map control. Like, I was not used to the map. If I was, I would have camped here with my sentry gun and called in a nuke, but since I wasn't, I had to run and got cornered in the spawn location. What's more, when I decided to pull out my death machine, I realized there is no death machine now, it's just the nuke. So now I'm stuck, I can't move, I can't cancel the nuke. All I can do is get slain by all these zombies. There's also map expansion for Battle Royale. You see two type of map changes to Battle Royale, one that Fortnite does. There's only this one default map, but they keep adding changes to that one. Another like PUBG, where they add multiple maps. I personally prefer the first one for multiple reasons. Like, first, it doesn't increase its game size for maps you don't want to play. It's also good for competing. You don't have to master multiple maps. Everyone just plays on one, so it's not like some player will be more familiar to this map than you or anything like that. The map expansion includes downtown. It has everything to be called downtown. Restaurant, shops, apartments, dance club, which is supposed to be the main building. There's a helipad on the top. You can access the DJ's equipment to play some music. I'm not sure if there's a specific name for this, and the music is probably copyrighted, so I will play my own. When you do that, it lights up the dance floor, the screen starts showing some symbol. I don't know if that's supposed to mean anything or it's just random. And that typical spherical crystal light to add to the vibe. Black Market, it has a bunker that the developers were teasing since test server. There's a bunch of loots, vending machines for ammos, guns. There's a tower on the ground working as a good vantage point, and a workshop with 4 vending machines where you can get any ground vehicles. Harbor with giant cranes, ships, containers lying around and everything it needs. Sanitarium, which is supposed to be abandoned hospital with inoperable ambulance on the outside. The whole medical facility design on the inside. Also a very trivial thing, there are stuffed bear around which explodes with rainbow dust. I wasted my time shooting them around, so I thought I should mention. And 3 snowy areas, which stands out as a rural mountain area compared to the urban or industrial areas I just mentioned. The slope in Ski Town really looks tempting. If only there was a snowboard feature. Tencent, you know what to do. Since I have started talking about Battle Royale, I will also end the other 2 things. First one is the Smoke Bomber class, which throws like a cluster of smoke grenades. You can see the enemies through that, and it says damage taken increases speed. I think it's talking about your speed. Even if it's not, I have no interest in looking that up. I am not a Battle Royale player. But what I am interested in though is the new tank. So you can get this during the 2nd or 3rd last circle of the match. There's both pop-up and AI announcements, so you won't miss it. It drops like a supply drop. Sometimes there's 1 tank, sometimes there's 2. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, it would be cool if you get inside the tank mid-air, but no, you should never try that. Why? Because I have, and I'm telling you not to. It does not work. There are 2 weapons mounted. The first one is obviously the main cannon with 32 shells, and second one is a machine gun with unlimited ammos. Cannon can only be used while driving, so if you want to use the machine gun, you will have to change your seat, or you can have a teammate firing the machine gun if you're playing in a squad or duo. The cannon rotates really slow, so it takes time to aim properly, which is understandable, or this thing would be the meta, which it is, kind of, but there are some counters which I will talk later. Always use the ADS, it's really accurate, and you can't aim down too much, so make sure you don't let any enemy get near you. There are trolls who exploit that, so watch out for anyone diving around in a wingsuit. I once got trolled like that, so I had to try it on someone else, and so I did. Nice and easy. Okay, slow down. Now I can see my shadow over that thing. This is where I started. What? Why didn't I took over that machine gun? Either they are teammates or this guy was really lucky. The original guy just got stripped off his own tank. Okay, yeah, they're definitely teammates. The reason he stopped the tank here, I thought I saw the most funniest. The counter for the tank is firing 3 rockets. That's all you need to destroy the whole tank. It's tried and tested, so you don't have to doubt the accuracy of that information. Or if your aim is good, all you need is 1 Nova gas to kill the players inside the tank, and then later maybe you can have it. If you have none of those, you have one more option to go airborne and get inside the enemy's tank. And if that doesn't work, good luck with your one-on-one with a full-fledged tank at the end. Back to multiplayer, new SMG QQ9, which is MP5 but renamed because of some copyright issues, is arguably the top 2 gun in the game right now with decent damage, fast movement, fast fire rate, and 18 points out of 20 in Fergometer. If you catch your opponents off guard with this, they won't even know what hit them. And MP5 reminds me of a recommended video on my homepage few weeks ago. It was from a channel named Futives where he dropped a nuke in Search and Destroy and Modern Warfare, which is insane to think even if you know very little about Search and Destroy. The channel totally blew up and I'm following it since, and it got me thinking whether we can drop a nuke in Search and Destroy of mobile version or not, so that I can try that. My channel will blow up and I will become Futives Mobile. And if you saw the video as well, you are probably also thinking whether you can drop nuke in SND or not. If yes, then you're in luck, because I tried that. I went through the torture of making 3 accounts, completing 3 tutorials. You can't skip any of them, so I had to do all of that. And the answer is no, you can't drop a nuke in Search and Destroy here. I even tried going 40 plus kills and 0 just to be sure. For what it's worth, I tried dropping a nuke in any other game mode in a private match, and yes, it worked, so it could only mean that you can't drop a nuke in Search and Destroy. So there you go, my hours of torture compressed in a 10-second answer, so you better drop a like for that. New LMG Chopper, it has a very unique ADS. The fire rate and accuracy on this is insane for a LMG. Just equip a FMJ to this and you can shoot through walls like they are nothing. Also, the time to ADS is a bit slower than other guns, so prediction and pre-firing is really essential with this one. But if you manage to do that all, you can really play a good support role for your team. And fair warning for the shooting through wall thing, you will annoy a lot of opponents, and some salty kids will definitely report you as a hacker. There's a history of that happening. The new score streak, Cluster Strike, just select a location on the map and it will drop a barrage of missile out of nowhere. It's really good for defending objective and hardpoint and domination. And now the last thing I want to talk about is the battle pass. So you always get epic characters from this, and this time they are Ghost Hazmat and Kruger Alchemist. Both of them are featured in the poster from where this video started. Also, what they do with battle pass is make a set of 2 or 3 skins and apply that to a bunch of stuff inside the battle pass. This time they are Barricade, Radioactive, and Danger Zone, a perfect trilogy fitting the season theme. Like, first, the radioactive stuff will happen to the world, zombie apocalypse will break out, you will toss them barricades to stop the horde of zombies, and Danger Zone signs for idiot survivors to tell them not to go there. So yeah, they are the perfect trilogy fitting the season theme. But since they are skins, we are supposed to judge the book by its cover, so allow me to do that. The first one is Barricade. It's animated, so I will approve of this as an epic skin, although I would prefer it more eye-popping, which it is not. For that reason, I like the previous season one more, which was the Heat Stroke. Like hell if your eyes will ever miss that glowing red hot animation. Second is Radioactive. I really like the combination of white and gold added to this, which is not even the reason it's called Radioactive. And the third is the Danger Zone, and I don't really have much of an opinion, but imagine a screen filled with all those scam virus ads. Yeah, that's equivalent to this skin. There's 2 more skins left which are for specific guns. The first one is M4 Back Scratcher. It looks dope and seems like a DLC to the trilogy. Survivors will use it to keep the zombies off. And the second one is QQ9 Flood, which looks like devs were running out of time, so they just extended the stock of the original and painted it red. This definitely is not worthy to be the final reward in Battle Pass, or even epic skin as for that matter. Most of the rigged gachas, aka Lucky Draw and crates, were also theme based, so they added to the radioactive vibing. So overall, it was a great season. I'm saying was because just 5 days are left from when I'm recording. The fact that you can access most of the newly added content without any paywall is just amazing. I'm not talking about the crates or the lucky draws, but everything else. They have continued to add more grindable rewards. The isometric skin was really good in the seasonal event in my opinion, especially the HVK. There's another epic character in the daily login reward, which I think they started from season 6 only. But if we talk other than this newly added contents, not everything is perfect. The gameplay, people are facing a lot of issue, lag, desync or crash problems. And related to that, iFurry actually just recently uploaded the video when I was about to finish this video, and basically he said the developers know about them, they acknowledge the problem and they're working on it, and kind of reassured like how issues in the past were fixed but it took time. So yeah, hopefully all those problems will be fixed. Personally for me, so far I have not faced those problems at their severe state, like it's just some minor desync issues. So I'm still enjoying the game. In fact, I will even say I'm kind of addicted to it right now. If you check my playtime compared to all the other games, my time spent on Call of Duty is like 10 times more. So anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. Now I can finally delete those 163 gigabytes of recorded videos for this specific video that you just watched. But since you all made it this far and listening to this, I will say it made it all worth it. So thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next one.